มาเราไปทำการบ้านมาแล้วมาเอาคาถาดีกว่าก็มาตอนเช้าด้วยลืมรอไปดีไปเอาคาถาอาจารย์ช้ามาแล้วได้คาถามาหนึ่งอันพระคุมมันขึ้นมาอย่างนั้นนะ
Wonderful to see you.
Revelio.
อาจารย์ให้ยกอันนี้ช่วยอาจารย์เร็วๆหน่อยได้ไหม
I've completed my assignments, Professor.
Pleased to hear it. Professor Weasley will be too. I'll be sure to let her know how well you're coming along.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor Hecat tells me she taught you Levioso, so you should be ready for a more advanced levitation charm. Wingardium Leviosa requires a bit of concentration and a nice, graceful wand movement. Let's see you try your hand at it.
ได้เลยจาน
When executed correctly, you should be able to pick up boulders as though they were sprigs of
วิ่ง
sneezewort.
เยี่ยมเลเวลซามีแวะด้วยนะโอเคใส่อะไรวะเทียนไรย่า
Well done! Feel free to practice
Wingardium
round.
Leviosa.
You're a natural.
Professor Garlic, a moment of your time?
The plants are resting, so now's as good a time as any.
I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology?
How lovely of you to ask. I've always had an affinity for greenery, so this situation is a bit of a dream come true. After graduation, I was thrilled to be asked to step in for my old herbology professor. He'd had a slight accident, you see.
Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you.
Well, he never cared, really cared for the plants, and they could sense it. Oh, you'd be surprised how perceptive a plant can be. At any rate, the trouble began one day when he cut into a wigan tree. Unfortunately for him, its leaves were hiding a bowtruckle. You may recall the marvellous creatures that resemble a twig. The little beast gouged the professor's eyes quite fiercely, but terrifying, I'd imagine. Likely for the professor, too.
And that's when you took over as the herbology professor.
Well, not quite. After 3 weeks at St. Mungo's, my predecessor regained a tiny bit of his eyesight. He insisted on returning to the
ลืม
greenhouse.
ปิดเทรด
Within a week, he claims by accident, kicked a Chinese chomping cabbage, so it was back to St. Mungo's for him.
What a string of bad luck.
Well, I felt awful for him, but I dare say I felt a bit more sympathy for
Dan.
the cabbage. Upon his discharge from the hospital, his indifference to plants had turned to utter disdain. He lost what little patience he had left with a particularly temperamental venomous tentacula and, well, his resulting leave of absence continues to this day.
I'm glad everything worked out as it did and that you're the herbology professor now.
Very kind of you to say. I do love these gardens and helping my students grow. Lovely speaking with you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and remember, be kind to your wigan trees.
Revelio.
ต้นอะไรนะขอฝึกไหม
Wingardium Leviosa.
คิวหมุนเดินกด F กดอะไรนะวายทำไมกด V ดึงจานมันใช้ยังไงนะจาน คิวแล้วก็เลื่อนเมาส์นี่เหรอว้าวมีดึงเข้าโอ้ไปคอยหลักกันดีกว่าเราทะเลทลายมานานแล้วอ้าวโดดก็ไม่ได้เราพูดถึงไหนนะก่อนหน้านี้ไปหาอาจารย์ชาร์ปมาแล้วได้คาถาที่มาคอนฟิกต่อไปก็
Revelio.
อะไรกิ้งกิ้ง
Stallions and a historian's uniform. It was brilliant solving those old treasure maps.
รายงานสัตว์อาจารย์ฟิกอาจารย์ฟิกดีกว่าไม่เรายังไม่ได้เดินเลยอยากเลี้ยงสัตว์แล้วอะ
I was hoping to see you.
อาจารย์
You're back.
Finally. Minister Spavin talks more than he listens. Ranted on and on about rogue dragons. Wouldn't listen to a word about goblins. Speaking of which...
Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. Nearly Headless Nick asked me to get some rotten roast beef from the kitchens.
Rotten roast beef?
Yes, I thought it was odd too. But then we took the roast beef to Sir Podmore of the Headless Hunt, and...
You met the Headless Hunt? That must have been interesting, to say the...
Yes. And then I had to find Richard Jackdaw's head in the pumpkins so that he'd tell me about how he died.
Who on earth is Richard Jackdaw?
He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton, I found the missing pages.
You found the pages?
I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts.
Why am I not surprised? Shall we?
I was hoping you'd say that.
ไปอาจารย์
Oh, and we'll need to bring the book.
อยากไปแล้วเพิ่งมาแล้วกูเลยว่าไปอีกแล้วมา
The
แล้ว
room is called the Map
อาจารย์
Chamber,
ขอ
by
โท
the
ษ
way. And a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there.
Professor Rackham. I look forward to meeting him. How did this Jackdaw get the pages from the book?
ไม่รู้อาจารย์เปลี่ยนนั้นนะเดี๋ยวกด
Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him.
Oh, Peeves. To think it was beneath us all this time.
อาจารย์ ดึงพระคลุมขึ้นมาทำไม
This looks promising.
ว้าว สุดยอดไปเลยอาจารย์
map, there's Hogsmeade. And over here, the Forbidden Forest. And, of course, Hogwarts. It's magnificent. If only you were here to see this.
Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal as you asked. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig.
How do you do, Professor Fig? And you, my young friend, see now why you needed to return with the book?
I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the map chamber.
That you have come this far tells me that you possess extraordinary magical ability, the potential and power of which will unlock should you prove yourself worthy. The location of each of 4 trials will, in time, appear on the map. Trials that will test you and give you access to invaluable knowledge. Trials that you must complete on your own. Do you recall the pensive memory you viewed in my vault in Gringotts?
You and your friend Charles spoke of the port key and of trials you'd created for one who could see traces of ancient magic.
Precisely. Charles is another of the Keepers, a designation we gave ourselves centuries ago, in light of the knowledge that we have been bound to keep hidden. Until, perhaps, now.
So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial.
They were an important part of the journey, but they were not trials themselves. The fact that you have come this far, however, bodes well. The trials were designed to ensure that the power and knowledge we have kept secret for so long does not fall into the wrong hands. They will test your abilities, both innate and learned. But of equal importance, everything you witness as you complete the trials will inform what you choose to do with all that we share. You will need patience. The trials have much to teach you. It will take time.
I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time.
We have waited this long, Professor Fig. Surely a few more.
Respectfully, sir, while I do not know the secret you keep, I do know that our young friend here has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. And we encountered an uncommonly powerful goblin wielding such magic as we prepared to leave your vault at Gringotts. We may already be too late.
This is grave news indeed. Young friend, do you trust Professor Fig?
I do.
Then, in the light of your considerable skill and all you have already accomplished, we shall begin. You will find the location of the first trial marked on the map below you. Whilst Professor Fig may assist you in locating the trials, they may be completed only by one with our ability.
ได้ไปเล
Shall
ย
we have a look?
ไปเลยอาจารย์
I know that tower. It's not far. You may have seen it yourself.
คิดว่าเคยเห็นนะ
It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-traveled than you might think.
As your mentor, the least I can do is go ahead to make sure it is safe. Join me as soon as you can.
I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can.
Until then, be careful and do not tell anyone where you're going.
อาจารย์ว้าไปเนี่ยของแผนที่
How would you like to learn the knockback jinx Flipendo? Once you've
Flipendo.
completed the necessary tasks, come and find me in the greenhouse.
มีคาถามาเพิ่ม
It's time you learned Glacius, the freezing spell.
Glacius
It is an efficient way to cool down a heated situation. But first, I will need you to complete a few tasks. Once you've done that, come and see me.
ไรเซสนี่เขาถามอะไรวะแต่ขอไปอันนี้ก่อนแล้วกันไปหาอาจารย์ฟิกที่ทาวเวอร์แล้วกลับมาเรียนเอาวะทางออกอยู่ไหนมีกระตุกเล็กน้อยข้างนอกยังนะข้างนอกยังไปฟูเช็คเควสก่อนการบ้านใช่ไหมไม่ใช่เควสหลักใช่ไหมการบ้านเจาะบอลลูนเนี่ยสถานที่ฮอกมีปลูกเก็บเกี่ยวท่าน้ำประสานต่อสู้ทั้ง3ใช้พร้อมกันอ๋อฟิปเพลนโดงั้นก็เดี๋ยวค่อยแล้วกันขอไปเควสหลักก่อนการบ้านเดี๋ยวค่อยการบ้านเอาไว้ก่อนการผจญภัยต้องมาก่อนนะ
Revelio.
เราเคลียร์ไปเยอะขนาดนี้เลยวะโอ้ยเข้าป่าแล้วโหลด
These rocks have seen better days.
เราบินเหนือป่าต้องห้ามไม่แปลหรอกมั้งบินขึ้นอีกวะได้นี่
Revelio.
ตรงนู้นมีเควสเสริม2 อันไม่มีบอสใช่ไหมท่านนี้ไป let's go คอยนี้เหรอน่าจะเพิ่งเคยมาโอเคโหลดผีชัวโหลดผีชัวแบบนี้เพิ่งเคยมา
Intriguing.
รอต้องรออีกเหรอ
Over here.
sorry
We're not alone.
We are not. Ranrock's loyalists. Around a dozen I can see, but could be more.
Can't we apparate past them into the tower?
We could, but we've no idea what's in the tower. More importantly, however, I'd like to know why they're here. They've set up camp just ahead. I suggest we investigate a little before doing anything else. Let's go.
Well, this isn't ideal.
No, it isn't. This way.
โอ้โหไป
I'd
ก่อนก็ไม่ได้
suggest we use the disillusionment charm here. No sense in announcing our arrival. Quickly now.
อะไรนะลืมอ่านอีกแกโอ้
Stay hidden and cast Petrificus Totalis.
Petrificus Totalis.
อ๋อต้องเข้าไป
Well
ใกล้
done.
ๆเฮ้ยเตลเตลมันเลยทีนี้มาดิ
Revelio.
ไปเดียวขวาก่อน
There must be something here.
Petrificus Totalis.
สเตลเกมเพย์นี่
Revelio.
There must be
Petrificus
something.
Totalis.
Ramrock said so.
ฮ่าฮ่าง่ายง่ายเลย
The wizards will be defeated. What was that? There must be something here.
It's totalis.
ก็โดน2เลยแจ๋วไอเตียวแล้ว
Revelio.
เบาะแสของกรับบินอันนี้คือเบาะแส
Orders.
คอยเพื่อนที่ไม่ได้หลอกมองหาชื่อ
These
นั้น
orders indicate that they're after
Ranrock.
something to do with names. What names? And why here?
ใครมาวะ
I will draw blood. Deadly mistake.
ก็ต้องบวกเหมือนเดิมเลย
Let's get it.
เร็วสุด
Not quick enough. Showing off ours. I'll get you yet.
จานสุดยอดจริงๆให้จานช่วยคนเดียวก็ได้มั้งผมมาละจานไปต่อ
Revelio.
ไปเร็ว
Looks like we found the entrance.
It's locked.
จานต้องสอน
An
นะ
unlocking charm.
Very handy. No time now, but if you don't learn it soon enough, we can work on it back at the castle.
ได้กับประสาทจานต้องสอนคาถาปลดล็อกไว้สักครู่เป็นที่กากกว่าผ้าพันคอที่ดีกว่า
Revelio.
ลองมีอะไรด้วยเดี๋ยวค่อย
Welcome to Sambakar's Tower.
Revelio.
ล็อกระดับ3เลย
Hello, Professor. Did you say Sambakar's tower?
I did. Professor Bakar is a keeper you have yet to encounter. I'm glad to see that I was correct in presuming that we would meet again soon after our last encounter, though I surmise, based on the commotion I heard, that you did not have an easy time getting to me.
We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower.
That goblins were aware of my vault is disquieting enough. But if they have also made a connection to this tower, then the threat may be greater than I thought. All the more reason for us to move forward. Downstairs, near the entry, a reservoir of ancient magic, like those you've seen before, has been unlocked. Commanded to access a doorway. I'm afraid I cannot say more. As Professor Fig cannot join you, he and I will, in time, see you back at the map chamber. Remember what you see.
ได้จัดไป
We're going to need to understand how Ranrock's loyalists knew about a tower that once belonged to a keeper. For the moment, however, you've more important things to set your mind to. A reservoir of ancient magic, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Then I shall leave matters in your increasingly capable hands. That said, be careful.
I will, sir. I'll see you back in the map chamber.
จานต้องสอนให้ปลดล็อกแล้วนะ
A reservoir of ancient magic. Downstairs, near the entry.
ไปกล่องไม่มีเข้าเลยบททดสอบแรก
Revelio. I've seen this before in Gringotts and the restricted section.
แต่มันกินก่อนกับเขียนของห้ามขี่ไม่กวาดอะไรขี่ทำไม
Impressive. That must have done something.
ว้าว
Best have a look around.
จริงขอดูรอบๆก่อนจะมีอะไรยาเรามี24 ขวดแล้วแม่นทำไมระบุขอแบบโหดๆได้ไหมนี่อ่ะ
Revelio. More traces of ancient magic. Something must be different.
ว้าวนั่นไหน
Revelio.
ซองของดีๆเวลามันกว้างจังบอสไฟปะเนี่ย
These are never a welcome sight. At least I know what to expect this time.
3 ตัวคิวอยู่คาถาอยู่ปะเนี่ย
Protego. Stupefy.
ออกไม่ได้เลย
Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Defender.
Defender.
Expelliarmus. Protect.
ไอตัวใหญ่บล็อกไม่ได้ติด
Confringo. Defender.
ปาดขาดครึ่งไปเลย
Revelio.
จำก่อนตัวใหญ่ห้ามบล็อกโอเค
These look familiar. Accio.
ดึงแล้วทำไมดึงนี้จะไม่พาคว่ำใช่ไหม
Accio.
มา
Revelio.
ไม่แต่มันมีกล่องอยู่ข้างในแล้วนะแป๊บนึงได้ไหมนี่อีกฝั่งนึงวัดนี่อะไรครับเนี่ยอ๋อ
Accio.
Accio
Revelio. Accio.
อ๋อปล่อยคาถากัน
More statues.
ลูกปั้นอีกแล้วนี่บวกอีกแล้วขอโหดเลยดิ นี่เป็นอะไรบ้างคอนฟิงเกิลดิเฟนเดอร์
Incentive.
เซนเดียว
Not making this easy on me. Revelio.
น่าต้องขึ้นไปข้างบนไปดึงมาไม่มีของใช่ไหม
I presume I'm moving to places of ancient magic. Where? Accio.
ฟรีว้าว
Revelio.
เกี่ยวกันนะเราต้องเดินทะลุได้โอเคเก็ตแล้วอีกฝั่งหนึ่ง
Seems I ought to explore this archway from both sides.
จริง
Accio.
No, ตอนนี้ไม่มีไอ้นี่ว่า
What
ต้อง
did
ดึ
that
ง
burst of magic change on both sides of the archway? Something must be different.
ดึงไว้ประมาณนี้แล้วก็กลับเข้าไปที่เดิมนี่ตัว
Accio.
ไม่ไปฝั่งนู้นยังไงแล้วฉันจะไปฝั่งนู้นยังไงเดี๋ยวนะ
I need to see how the
ประตู
room changes when I move in and out of the archway.
ต้องดึงอันนี้เข้าประตูด้วยปะไอ้นั่นอยู่นั่นน่ะพอเก็ตอยู่
So that's it. I need to use both sides of the archway to get the platform to the other side of the bridge.
ทางไปน่ะรู้แล้วแม่จะไอ้นี่ทางไป
Accio.
คุณผ่านประตูไม่ได้เหรอ
So that's it. I need to use both sides of the archway to get the platform to the other side of the bridge.
เราลืมไปได้ยังไง
Accio.
นี่ไงไปขึ้นเหมือนเดิม
So that's it. I need to use both sides of the archway to get the platform to the other side of the bridge. Accio.
ของที่พลาดไม่ได้เลยนี่เงินละ27 บาทแล้วเนี่ย โอ้ว่างมากใหญ่ด้วย
Revelio.
ตื่นแล้วด้วย
Expelliarmus. Levioso.
อืม
Confringo. Incendio. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Confringo.
ลบฟินโลตัวใครเกินลบ
Incendio.
เทนเดียวเกินแล้วมั้ง
Expelliarmus.
No.
Protego.
ใครมาอีกวะมาดิ
Expelliarmus.
ฟาดเลย
Stupefy.
โอ้ชิบ
Confringo.
กระจีไม่ติดหลบหลบหลบ
Expelliarmus.
มาเดี๋ยวเล็งหนูเอาไปกินคืออะไรแผลเหรอ
Reparo.
ทำไม
Revelio. Reparo.
ไม่ทางลงแล้วอยู่นู่นเรารีแพร์อะไรดิไปเดี๋ยว
Accio. Revelio.
ฝั่งโน้นมีอะไร
Accio. Revelio.
ไม่มีของก็ลุยเลยบอดไฟยังอ่ะเฮ้ยขนาดนี้ต้องบอดสัก3 ล้านตัวตัวเดียวกัน
Revelio.
พอแล้วเฮ้ยเราวะเป่าเต็ม ได้ดีไหมเอ๊ะเอาไม่เต็ม ยาเหรอ ยาเต็ม ถ้าให้ยามากว้างแบบนี้ก็บอสที่ครับมา
Look at this.
ลง
Expelliarmus.
มาลง
Expelliarmus.
เป็นมาโยนสวน บอก
Stupefy.
เคาน์เตอร์ก็ลงเคาน์เตอร์นี่เป็นอะไรวะ
Expelliarmus.
แล้วก็สวนตัวนี้
Expelliarmus.
เอามานี่600เนี่ยโอ้โหพี่ใหญ่มาโอ้ชิบ
Expelliarmus. Confringo. Defendo.
ลงเล่นบนโบราณไปเที่ยว
Expelliarmus. Confringo. Defendo.
คืออะไรวะแล้วออกนอกวงกันแล้วไม่รู้แสดงไว้ก่อนโหลโดนโหลโดนไปเฮ้ยชิบเอาตามสีไปดิตามสีวะหรือว่าโอ้โหขออีกรอบสีเหลืองเยอะสุดอันตีไปยังเข้าแล้วก็ถอยน่าจะมีท่าโชว์เตรียมสีไว้ก่อนเลวิโอโซ่ลงเฮ้ยเชี่ยยืนเห็นเลวิโอโซ่หลบปีกหลบเคาน์เตอร์เดือไม่หลบแล้วแล้วหลบเลวิโอโซ่ไม่หลบโบราณไปยังปึ้งปึ้งปึ้งได้อะแค่เนี้ย
What a relief.
แค่เนี้ยนะ
Revelio.
โอเค
Another pensive.
Another pensive ใครวะกล่องหมดแล้วโอเคไปลุย
Your ability to transfigure the world around you is remarkable. What is it?
My father isn't getting better. I don't think he'll ever recover from the death of my brother.
It is agonizing to see those we love suffer.
The drought was years ago, but the pain of losing him is as deep for him now as if it had happened only yesterday. He doesn't need pretty pillars, he needs peace. What if I could help him, Professor?
You do so much for your father already.
It's not enough. I want to take away his pain.
It is tempting, I know, to use this magic that you're mastering to transfigure more than the physical world. But human emotion is a potent force unto itself. Even the most well-meaning and competent witch cannot possibly know the consequences of irrevocably manipulating it.
So I'm to watch as my father's pain destroys him.
It is not your pain to take.
ไปรับลมผมนะหน้าตาแบบจานพูดงี้ได้ไง
Every year, a student sees something sillier than I could ever imagine in their tea leaves. Oh, Miss Morganach, welcome back to Hogwarts, Professor.
That's going to take some getting used to. Professor
เป็น
Rickwood?
จานแล้วอะ
I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor.
Sit, Isadora. Tell us about your travels.
I was actually hoping that you and the others might join me at my home this evening. There's much I'd like to share with you.
That would be delightful. We shall let the others know.
Very well. I shall see you then.
หมดแล้วเหรอ
Another memory. Now to find a way out of here.
นี่ทางออก
Crystallized stone. That must be the way back to the map chamber.
จานผมมาแล้วไปเนี่ย
What have we here?
I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir. And this is Professor Fig.
Professor Charles Rookwood at your service. Has someone completed the first trial?
I have, Professor Rookwood. We saw you in the Pensive in Gringotts with Professor Rackham.
Indeed. So, you found the portkey to access Professor Rackham's vault, and you deciphered the map within the locket you found floating above that Pensive.
I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last Pensive.
Ah, yes. You will find a similar artifact in each trial. You must take care to keep them safe. You will need them to complete the journey we have set forth for you. Once you have them all, we will tell you what to do with them.
Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial?
Before you proceed, I would like to speak with Charles regarding the urgent situation involving the goblins.
The goblins?
The student has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. They and their mentor, Professor Fig, not only encountered goblins lurking outside of Sanbakar's tower, they also encountered a powerful goblin in my vault at Gringotts.
I'm afraid it would be wise to halt the trials until we know more.
We shall defer to you in this matter, of course. Now then,
Wait, Professor. The name Rookwood. Do you think...
that there's a connection to Victor? Perhaps, but we can't be sure of its significance, if any. For now, tell me what you saw in the Pensive.
Before the witch from the last Pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Rackham about using magic to remove pain.
Hopefully the next Pensive provides more context. For now, we should learn what Ramrock knows. I will be honest, I've no idea where to start.
Actually,
เริ่มจาก
I
สอน
might know of
อา
someone.
จารย์
I saw
คาถาดอก
Serona at the Three
สะเดาะกร
Broomsticks
ก่อน
speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly.
Well, it's worth a try. See what you can find out. Of course, don't forget...
My studies. Yes, sir.
Before you go,
ไม่ครับ
Professor?
have you encountered swirling traces of magic in the world? Aside from those along our path.
Not that I recall. What are they?
Evidence of the Keeper's efforts to manipulate the power of ancient magic during our time. If I am correct, and I usually am, you should be able to use them to inform and enhance your own magic.
Thank you, sir. I will look out for them.
ใช่อันที่ไปเจอมาก่อนหน้านี้ป่ะไปเจอไอ้เนี่ยเขาเรียกอะไรอ่ะเศษเสี้ยว ก่อนหน้านี้อันหนึ่งเขาเดือดร้อนแล้ว ก็ไม่ได้เลี้ยงสัตว์เลยอ่ะ อยากเลี้ยงสัตว์เลี้ยงแล้ว การบ้าน2 อันนั้นทำเลยรู้สึกคาถาบอแต้มพรสวรรค์ เปี้ยงอันเจนจะเติมไปยังเป้าหมายอื่นเนาะอันนี้ก็หนาปะเนี่ยเลือดฝืนสาดมือในของแมวเดี๋ยวแล้วกดคาถาไม่ค่อยทันนะเดี๋ยวนี้ไปก่อนแล้วกันเดี๋ยวเขาจะเพิ่มได้24แล้วไปไกลก่อนในเรื่องเลยพวกนั้นพีฟแกคงไม่ชนะแต่ไอรอดูแก
Hello again. I've got spectacular news. The broom upgrade's ready. Stop by the shop when you
ระ
can.
ดับไม้กวาดพร้อมแล้วเหรอเฮ้ย
I hope you will come and see me about a pressing and highly confidential matter at your earliest convenience. I believe that we may be able to help each other.
เมลเยอะมาก
Please see me after class once you have completed the tasks I've set for you.
Descendo
I would like to teach you Descendo, useful for pulling objects to the ground.
หรอหมดยังโอ้โห3 อันเฟสต่อเนื่องเลยปะล่ะวิชาสัตว์พิเศษอโลโมล่าดิพอลโซเนาะหวกเหล็กแห่งการบ้านมีอะไรฟิฟเฟนโดเกรเซียดิเซนโดวิชาสะดอกก่อนอัปเกรดอ่ะอัปเกรดไม้กวาดออกมีดไปเจอตะลงที่ร้านไม่ใช่ถูกแล้วไปอัปเกรดไม้กวาดแล้วค่อยไปเรียนวิชาสัตว์พิเศษ
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented glue powder.
ในเมืองเนี่ยเขาปั้นดินน้ำมันกันเลยโหลดไม่ทันน้ำจับไม่กวาดมีเควส
Hand them back.
Hand what back, sir? We've not took a thing.
Hand them back.
There's nothing to give, sir.
I'm
There's
not
only the one. That's all of them, sir. Honestly, I swear.
How many times are you pair going to keep pilfering my shop?
I swear it was just those ones, sir. We promise, sir. We'd never take more than those.
I tell you this, they'll not appreciate your honesty and ask about.
ร้านไม่กวาด
You
อยู่
just
ไหน
wait till I see your
มันจะเป็นร้านเสื้อผ้าขายของก่อนเลย
Well, hello there.
ลุงหน้าหนีน้ำมันอ่ะมัน
Come
ไม่โหล
in,
ด
look around, and if you've been eating chocolate frogs, please refrain from touching.
มันไม่โหลดมันกดไม่ไปด้วยนะมาทำไมเนี่ยมีแล้วนะ
I'd say that looks as if it was made for you.
ขายดีกว่าเฮ้ยเกือบไปแล้ว
I
แค่นี้พอ
suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion.
เปลี่ยนสีบ้างข้างนอกเราใส่กริฟฟินดอร์
Stop by whenever you're about.
ร้านไม้กวาดร้านไม้กวาดดีกว่า นี่ละบัตเตอร์เบียร์นี่ปะเป็นบ่ใช่แล้ว
I've arranged a special price on the broom upgrade for you. I truly appreciate all of your help. You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you.
ลายเราเพื่อก็ได้ของคนนี้ก็มันมีเกมเลยด้วยคล้ายๆแบบ
I must tell you, half of Hogsmeade's been by the shop asking about rumours of a broom upgrade. Without the information you provided, my work would have taken twice as long. Thank you again. It may sound ambitious, but I've already begun work on another upgrade, more difficult to perfect than the last. I wondered, would you be interested in joining forces again? There's another course near Arendale that Miss Reyes has mastered. If you were to test this first upgrade there, it may help me as I develop the next. Oh, you'll consider it, won't you?
ได้
Sounds as if you're really outdoing yourself. If I'm able to help, I will.
Thank you. I know this recent success was only the beginning of what I can do for broom flight. Report back as soon as you can, and we'll be off to the races.
Off to the races then.
แข่งไม้กวาดเหรอล่าก่อนจบพาร์ทไปแข่งไม้กวาดแต่เราอยากไปเรียนถ้าไปแข่งเลยอยากเรียนนั่นกันนะโอ้ my god โคตรไกลอยากไม้กวาดไกลมากมันก็ไปเรียนกันนะกันเผื่อได้เควสจับสัตว์ฮัลโหลโฮโมล่าไหมเดี๋ยวค่อยไปนี่สัตว์พิเศษนี่ข้างนอกเหรอไปสิมาพร้อมที่จะเรียนแล้วครับอาจารย์
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this course. Though be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we? Miss Sweeting, would you please assist our new student with the lesson today?
Yes, Professor Howen. Hello, I'm
Poppy Sweeting.
Don't worry about Professor Howen's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe.
Oh, Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor. Here, you can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue.
มันมองหน้าทำไง
You can use my brush. Just be gentle. And think pleasant thoughts.
นี่เหรอเอาไปใส่
I like to think it enriches his experience.
เลข4ปิ้งน้องน่ารักอะ
That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast food?
อันนี้คือภาษาเปลี่ยนอันนี้คาถาเก็บนี่น่าจะไม่ได้นะจ๊ะเก็บไปแค่ไหนนะเดี๋ยวค่อยไปจัดกันเลย
What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? I like to think. I think we can safely say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition and cleanliness.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Neasels in the farthest pen?
This way. The Neasels are over here.
ตัวอะไรอ่ะ น้องแสวเหรอเสือกับแมวผสมกัน
Couple of knees or whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes.
ตัวซ้อนกันเลยจะไปดึงขดน้องทำไมล่ะ
Tuss peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent.
Her name is Persephone.
Her name is Persephone.
That's really not funny.
Dan.
Let's go.
น้องน่ารักว่ะ
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class.
เอามาเลี้ยงในชีวิตจริงได้บอก
Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on.
เนี่ยเซล
Feed and brush the measles just as you did with Gerald.
แล้วสเตฟานีอ่ะที่บอกเมื่อกี้ตอนนั้นเหรอไม่ใช่
The measles really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do
น่ารั
I.
กไอ้ตัวนี้อ๋อไอ้ตัว
It
นี้ตัวที่
appears our time has come to an end. Please close the pens and see yourselves out. Now, where is our new student?
นี่จัน
There you are. I would like a moment, please.
ได้จันมีอะไรบ้าง
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts lesson?
ไอ้เลิฟเลย
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. You seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps?
An optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other fifth years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study as many beasts as you can on your own time.
ได้เลยจันขอแบบจับมังกรมาเลี้ยงฮะใครเรียกว่าไงมันปั๊ปปี้
Do you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet in the forest.
You've
น่าสนใจ
intrigued
ว่ะ
me.
ไป
Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would.
ไปดินำทางไปเลย
I wouldn't take just anyone there. In
ขอแบบ
fact,
มังกร
you're the
ตัวใหญ่
first.
กว่าฮอกวอตส์นี้
Really? Well, thank you. I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise.
เป็นเรื่องว่าจะเจออันนี้ต่อปะเนี่ย
Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead.
ใกล้ถึงแล้วถึงไหนนี่
Stand back.
เฮ้ยเสียงมาฮิปโปกิฟเหรอ
Please meet Highwing.
ให้วิ่ง
Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her, but be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them.
ไหนครับตีลังกาโชว์ไปหนึ่งไม่ใช่ต้องก้มหัวปะโค้งคำนับนิ่งยังค่ะโค้งอีก อยากจับอ่ะจับได้ไหม
I knew it. I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody.
งับเขาให้อยากได้อ่ะอยากได้
So, what did you think of Highwing?
สุดยอดนะ
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And I might not be there next time.
Professor Howin mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howin, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's going on, what they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
วิชาสัตว์พิเศษอัปเดตภารกิจแล้ววะ ไปเรียนอะโลโฮโมล่าไปแล้วว้าฮู้เรากลับไปห้องเรามันจะมีห้องอันนี้ให้ปะนั่นน่ะสิ